day and how are you? Today we're going to go over some powder coated white wheels, my fresh white crispy wheels I always put on the race bikes, and drive some bearings and clean up the surfaces ready for rotors. So let's get onto it. The new wheels back from Powdercoat. Prepping them for bearings now. Go back here, find us some valve stems. So we just have a bunch. What kind do we want? Do we want red? Do we want black? Let's bring them all. All right, rainy day. We got the wheels back from Powdercoat. It's gloss white. Looks great on the race bikes. We're prepping them for bearings right now and valve stems. Which one should we go with? Red. Always like red on white. Black. Another set of black. Kind of love the red on the white. It's easier to find when you're checking pressures in the race. Get them in, we'll get back to it. As much as I would love to run these, Italian size, 8.3, there's two different sizes of valve stems, 8.3 for Italian size, which I use on the Ducati, most Sansa series, and 11.3. 11.3 will be Japanese, JDM, all your Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamahas, and that will fit in there nicely. Just the right fit. We'll get it snugged up. Black on white, just as good. I mean, it's classic. Why not? I usually put a red arrow where the valve stem is anyway, so I can find it easier. Like on my other race bike with the, don't mind the dirty wheels right now because I just went racing, but there is a red, sorry it's so dark, but there's a red arrow pointing to where the valve stem is so I can reach it faster. Got a, oh boy, that's going to be a tight fit there. They made it. So we're going to get prepped for bearings, like I said. Got to smooth out there, got to tap the holes if they're intrusive, but man, you cannot beat $50 a wheel at this place, sandblasted, everything. They just look too dang good. Again, this is for an SV race bike for the Super Sport. All right, there's the Super Sport, and then we got the Super Bike with the 180 kit on the rear. But yeah, just always love a fresh coat.
Oh no.
So regarding valve stems too, and what side you want them to end up on. Me racing, I kind of like the left or the rotor side as you're looking at the bike when I check, but the way I have the Super Bike laid out is the left when you're in front of the bike and the right when you're behind it. So it would be the left when you're looking at it. So that's the way I like it. I'm gonna set that up as that. So you find the rotation. If you know sprocket side, obviously the sprocket carrier, rotor side. So what I want, I'm going to put it right here, facing this way. So when I'm checking tire pressure, it'll be right there on my right dominant hand. And then with the front, I'm going to find the rotation arrow on here. Should be, I actually don't see one. All right, meow. I'll figure out which way that one's going, and I'll get it oriented in the right direction. But if you're a Suzuki guy, an SV guy, a lightweight racer, you know that this is the Speedo drive side. And that stupid plastic goes in there, tells you your speed. And we have the pit bull adapter for that, so you know that will always be on the clutch side of the bike when you're looking at it. The clutch side, and the other side obviously will be the brake side. So I always have it pointing to to the brake side. Yeah, to the master side. And the clutch side will always have the little speed sensor there. They are using walnut now, which is a little softer of a media to sandblast, and I think they're saving the threads better. I'll have to get a rotor bolt and see. Before I had to kind of tap the bolts before I got a rotor bolt to thread in there, but now they're looking extra clean, and that media is super soft, blasting that. So I'm kind of excited about not having to tap all those holes. How about you? You like tapping?
Tapping holes is pretty fun.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah, I used to love tapping holes, but now.
Used to, not really a thing anymore.
Yeah, the older I get. I'll show you guys orientated to the way I like it personally. Just a nice 90 degree. They're like $13 on Amazon. I haven't had one that failed. Knock on wood. I don't know what this wood at in here. These old bikes are made of wood basically, right? Yeah, whatever. And get the front one on. Shut up. Put the front one on and get ready to drive some bearings after we clean the races. This feels just so smooth now. So smooth compared to before where they're kind of rougher. You had to take like a little Dremel and get some powder out of there. Now they're just, look at that. It's a beautiful surface. Just a 14 millimeter nut on the back and a nice O-ring in there. Snug it down nicely. I know some of you have been eyeing the Diamondback in the background. Doing a little carbon upgrade project on it. Some carbon bars, stem. I got a seat post. I'm not sure if I'm going to run it or not. I heard they don't like to grip too much, but I got this fiber grip. It's supposed to be for clamping onto carbon fiber surfaces, making like a little gritty attachment point to really grab onto and clamping force onto that smooth surface. Sometimes it likes to rotate, but with the fiber grip it should eliminate that. That's just a little side project. It is starting to really, the old moto van right there. It is starting to roll in right now. We're just in a storage unit here in Illinois. It's gonna be loud because the rain's gonna be dropping, but I have red arrows I gotta find somewhere to put to indicate where the valve is. Just a quick visual reference point. Sometimes you get lost in the wheel, and when you're kind of rushing on third call or something, like, oh crap, tire pressure, then you can find it easily. I always like to mark rotation and the valve stem location, just for quick reference points. All the valve stems are on. Sorry about the rain, it's really coming down. Now that the valve stems are on, we have to prep the rest of the wheel for rotors and bearings. So there's just excess heat tape. That's what the green is right there. If you can focus, the green right here, that's just excess heat tape. Is what we tape off before it goes into the oven, so you don't powder coat the threads and everything you don't want. So excess comes off. This is the razor blade, that's all I'm using. And all excess powder from mounting surfaces. Make sure this surface is smooth, or else you'll have what will feel like a warped rotor, just because one surface is higher than the other. So you don't want to do that. So you want to kind of take your time, get all this out. Get extra. If you have to take a Dremel and smooth down a surface, not taking away too much material, but just enough. Especially with race bikes, everything is kind of a little more important than street bikes, but the street is just as fast and dangerous. I don't do a whole lot of street riding anymore, mainly just racing the lightweight class. This is a rotor surface. So wanting to make sure everything is smooth and clean. They did a really good job taping up the surface, and I really like these guys. It's called CPC Powdercoat in Crest Hill, Illinois, down by Joliet, south of Chicago. Best prices. They've been super busy, which is the opposite of what they think they would be through this whole COVID nonsense or pandemic. Sorry. Before I drive seals in, I want to make sure this isn't all built up. Found the decals I was talking about. Hard to do one-handed. Like I said, it's just a visual reference for where the valve stem is. Quick and fast, down and dirty. Just wrap it around. Work with your finger, heat it up, get in all of the surfaces. Bam. Clean. You know where it is. Who cares about style points? I do. One of the guys on our teams actually has a vinyl cutter, and he makes the rotation decals with your name in it. So that's pretty cool. You have to ask him to make another set for me. Easy visual reference. Try to make things as easy as possible for you at the racetrack. And tired, it's hot out, trying to hydrate, ready for a race. Little things you forget. How many times have you spun the wheel around trying to look for a valve stem? Not anymore. I always put it on the side that the actual stem is. And then the rotation ones will actually go on the opposite side. So that's a double visual reference. So I always know that the valve stem is opposite of where the rotational decal will be. So just makes it 2 times, 4 times faster. Again, just something stupid and anal retentive as I am about these tiny little builds. Oh, I actually found some that he'd made. Our team member has a vinyl cutter. He made some rotational ones with their name and number on it. So when it goes to the tire guy, they also know what the rotation is faster. Oh man, it is coming down. Woo. So the tire guy knows the rotation. So he knows which way to put the tire faster. He can do his job faster. It's got her number on it, her name, so he knows who it is. Something simple. This costs like 5 cents to make. If you have one, if not, some guy will charge you $2.50 for one. It's just an easy, super cheap way to cover your bases on every plane. Again, smarter, work smarter, not harder. Don't get you're in a series with a lot of lightweight guys. Don't get your wheels mixed up. A lot of guys still run the stock wheels, the 160 rear. 120 front. The Superbike is different. There's still 5 guys on our team that run the 180 rear, and it's all the 08, 09 Gixxer rears, and most of them are white, because white just looks great on a race bike, so that can get mixed up too. Trying to do things the smart way. The smart way would not be doing this sport. Spend thousands of dollars a year with some wooden plaques and a $50 tire certificate. You know, hobby, love, a passion's a passion. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to try to film this next part. It is spraying sideways. Goodness. You found out the rotation of the wheel, like we said before, if you're an SD guy, you know the speed sensor is on the clutch side, so the wheel is going to be rotating this way towards me. Arrow goes towards me, like I said, on the opposite side of the valve stem, so I know that it is down, opposite side towards me, so it will be going this way. And we'll keep it across from the valve stem. Work it on in there. Wow. Alright. I'm gonna close my door now. So fresh rotation decals, fresh set of stems, fresh arrow for visual reference. Next is going to be prepping the bearing surface for our new bearings. Got that rotation arrow on. Just finished up sanding some powder coat overspray in the races. And time for bearings. I like using all balls. Suzuki, that's the SV rear and this SV front. Like I said, I like using all balls. They've always been good. Never had any failures. Change them out once a year, or once a powder coat, which is about once a season. So we'll get those lined up, throw them in. Gotta find the collars for here that go in the middle. Don't forget those, or else you're taking a puller out. Pulling one out, slipping the collar, and then you're gonna hit yourself and cuss. And whatever you do to punish yourself in any way, verbally. But we're gonna find our tool, which is, I like using a PVC pipe. Doesn't damage and can really get on the outer race to put it in. Those Motion Pro things are so expensive, all right? Who buys those, really? Probably everybody, and they're probably great, and I should probably invest in them. But here we are, low budget. Once you get your package open, you will have the dust covers, dust seals, that you'll put in after. Those go on top of the bearings. You'll have two bearings. This is for the front. So two bearings, teeny tiny, because the SV uses a really small solid axle. They are sealed, so there's no greasing needed or any open to the environment small bearings of grease. I'll pull one out here. There you go. Should have the number of it right on there. Should spin freely. Beautiful, look at that. Awesome, awesome product that they provide. I should set in there, but not go in there. And let's get driving her in. And then the other side we'll put the collar in. Don't forget the collar. And we'll top it off with the dust seals. It should just go in very easy. If you need a hammer, just slight tap. No force. These will bend and you will ruin them. Some racers don't ever use these. They just go straight up bearing. As I say, there's friction around the wiper part here, and more friction takes away horsepower, etc. So a lot of guys I know don't use them. But, I mean, I like putting them in. They're super easy to take out if that's an issue, but I've never seen an issue. I think it getting somewhat started with a rubber mallet, something soft on the edges, lightly tap, just get it in there. See it started. Get off my finger. Still spins freely. If you're driving in at that point and then you can't spin this, it's tweaked too much. You got one side in more than the other, and then. To make it even now that it's there, I will actually just use PVC pipe and hit it on top. And then I will cut this in half right down the middle here. So then you could get, when it gets deeper down in there, you can get one side at a time. and it'll just drive its way down. And there is a stop point down there that it will reach at some point, and you'll hear a definite sound, at least I can, from hitting it now to when it seats onto that metal. It's a more solid ding. All right, we're getting some progress. It's flush now. Still spins very freely. We got about, I don't know if you can see there, about quarter inch left to seat on that surface down there. And then put the cover in. This guy will be flush, so that's how you know you truly have the bearing all the way in, is when once it seats down on that, you'll hear the definitive ding and sound more solid than hollow. And then another one is when this guy sits flush in there. If it's too high up, then obviously you gotta go down with the bearing more. Yeah, man, these things look good under the flash of the old iPhone 7 Plus here. Beautiful job again by CPC Powder Coating. They've done all my wheels and miscellaneous projects around the old garage. All right, we'll get back at it, pounding these bearings in. I usually, if I had time ahead of time, I would usually freeze the bearings so it will contract, minimal, but just enough, and leave the rim out in the sun so it will expand, being aluminum. And they surprisingly go in way easier. Don't believe me? Try it. Do your bearings. I guarantee your sport bike, cruiser bearings haven't been done in a long time. Or ever. I mean, most bikes I pick up, they've never been done. So give them a try. They're like 26 bucks from all bearings, and all balls, and it's great maintenance. I've had a set fall apart on me on my 98 R1. We went to like a 900-mile motorcycle trip, horrible, on a sport bike, and by the time I get off, they're crinking, crunching. Took the wheel out. All the balls came out of the bearings. It was just complete failure, and I can't say I ever did them on that bike, so it could have had 10,000 plus miles on those bearings, all I know. Just good to get simple maintenance done like this, and it's rewarding. A little bit of work, a little bit of learning, a little bit of pounding, frustration out, hammer. It's good times. Just want to really work it around the outer race. Don't hit the inner. You want that outer metal piece on the bearings. This outer, I don't know if you can see that. The outer metal here. You don't want to hit the blue inner or the inner metal. It will break the bearing, open it, crease it, decrease its longevity and life. So make sure you get really on the outside. Give it a tap, go to the other side. Tap, miss, hit your hand. It's all part of the experience, Russ. Work all the way around it. And eventually, it will see home. Show you guys how far we got. We are a little more recessed now, just on that outer side, so you can see. All right, bearing is in, spins very freely. Next is the dust seal. I like pressing in with my hand first, using a rubber. Very slight. It sounds louder than I'm going, but you just want this to be flush. The bearing to be free still. Make it as flat as possible. Nice and smooth. One side done, now to the other. The bearing's going in, just mocking up a rotor. Still needs to be sandblasted. That's going good. Nice and smooth. for the definitive ding. Solid mount, that baby is smooth as can be. Now the rear will come with this humongous one. That is for the sprocket carrier. There's actually a bearing in there. And there will only be one dust cover because this one will go on the other side of the rim, and this one will be on the most outer with the dust cover. So this will be your second dust cover. We'll need to get this little guy out. We're open here. And obviously the closed side faces us. Little lub here. The old palm, little palm lube. Palm out. Yeah. A little tap all the way around. She should go home. There should be no forcing it. Hit the rim, you know, for extra cause. Double tap. Alright, that's in. Slap your rotor on. This is a rotor off of a GSXR, so it's a little shorter, aka lightweight. It's cut out. Bam, less rotational mass. You know, doesn't matter. Here we go. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna button this up, get them on. This is the SS bike, fresh EBC rotors there. Probably going to transfer over to the new rims. These are just standard gray. And they're going to look really good with white. And here's white on the Superbike. That is a 09 Jigsaw rear wheel conversion kit on her. And just the standard SV front wheel in white. And as you can see, my arrows, and that should be directional right across there. That is how I like to set it up. Check us out on Team Color Hot on Facebook. My number is 929, and JK Racing will be my personal Facebook, at jsun815 on other social media like Instagram, and Jason Knutson on YouTube, which is what you're watching here. Thanks for watching. Hopefully something new popped out at you today and you learned something. If any questions, comment below. I will respond. Till then, we'll get to redoing the ZX10 next. All right. Have a good one, and thanks for watching.